Yo-ho, yo-ho-ho-ho. Look at this. My cat's hair turns red when she's shedding. Yeah, I know, you're just a little bitchy pants, aren't you? No, Diva, you don't like anyone touching you, do you? But look, she looks like a cross hybrid between a fox and a skunk. Yes, you're a shedding. You're a shedding kitty. You're a shedding shitty kitty. She escaped a couple times this week. And yeah, you caused us great stress, Jay. Didn't you? Didn't you? What you say about that? What you say about that? Yeah. Anyways, you know, I am goddamn tired of going to coffee shops and spending money, especially like fancy places. Like, you know, there's like a Ukrainian place I've been to a couple times with my buddy. You know, it's not a chain shop or anything. It's not a chain restaurant as far as I know. But for the life of me, I can't find a place that can just make an americano without spoiling the crema on top. It's very simple. Like it's really not rocket science. And I did barista training back in the day, and I never did anything with it, you know, job-wise. But where's the brown sugar? This is how I like to make one. You know, personally, I'm a fan, for the most part, of black coffee. Every now and then, I like my coffee like I like my metal. What did you think I was gonna say? Fucking racist. I mean, I like my coffee black. I remember I had my first cup of coffee when I was 8 years old, and it was black because my dad would always drink it black, and I was like, ew, P.U. kind of thing, you know. But now I'm like, yeah, you know, like Jack Reacher, I like my coffee black because I just don't like to mess around. But anyways, so this espresso machine is mostly automated, but it essentially will try to do the same thing that I think most baristas do to fuck up an americano. Now, first of all, what I do is a little bit of brown sugar at the bottom, not too much. I don't need that huge chunk. About that, I find is plenty. I used to use a lot more, but yeah, grind. And since it does it in the reverse order, and what I mean by that is that it'll pour the shot before it will pour the water. And crema, for those of you who don't know, I'll show you what it looks like. It's a film that forms on the top of the americano or espresso or whatever it is, you know, that's not diluted after you pour the shot. And it has I think it's called crema because it has a kind of creamy taste to it. And it's just, the quality difference is superb. So I ground up my coffee, but see, I'm not going to pour the puck. I'm not going to press brew because, as I said, this does it ass backwards. So I'm going to give it 8 seconds of boiling water. Well, it's not boiling, it's just hot water, but so I got my brown sugar in there, but as I don't want it to just sink to the bottom, because then, you know, I'll only taste it during the last few sips. Stir. That's got it pretty well dissolved. And a little more. A little bongo. Okay, now pour the shot. And I'll show you how my machine, see how I've got the edge of the cup like right up against the machine itself? Well, that's because, well, you know, I'll show you. But see, this is what I do. See that stuff forming there? That's crema. Now, what I'm going to do to make sure, again, that the brown sugar doesn't sink to the bottom, put that spoon in just in the middle, lightly. Stir it. See how that disturbed the crema? Well, since I only poured half the shot, now I can do it again, and you'll see now there's crème. Now see that change in color there? That's the crème, and yeah, I'd say that's about good. But I don't want to make it bitter. But watch this. See, you know, it's going to pour the puck. Now it's pouring the water. See, that's the opposite way you're supposed to do it. And I think that's how most baristas do it, and it just fucks it up royally. Now, with that little intro out of the way, I want to show you something. So, there is an area in my city, which is incidentally the same area where I managed to talk my way out of getting mugged. You know, I shared that story a while back. And around those restaurants, around that A&W, there are a notorious amount of panhandlers and people selling just shit, you know, probably hot shit, meaning, you know, they probably stole it and they want drug money. There are some good artists that just show up there and will sell their art, but it's also a notorious spot for fringe religious groups. Like I've seen those pro-life fuckwads with their sandwich boards. I've seen them there many times where they're adorning the sandwich boards with sorry, I'm just climbing 4 flights of stairs here. It's a little bit knocks the breath out of my tar-filled lungs. No. Incidentally, also climbing the stairs fucked up the crème, but whatever. You saw how what the initial product was, and now it still tastes so much better than any other coffee shop. Yeah, where they'll have really disturbing pictures of like aborted fetuses and stuff like that, and you know, tell people that they're murderers if they get abortions and stuff, and you know, my city being a very liberal one, that tends to just elicit people either mocking them or trying to debate them on their views. You know, neither approach really seems to get very far, unfortunately, even though civil debate should be the way in which people try to, you know, work issues out and find common ground and all that stuff. But yeah, so I was going by there the other day, and this white lady, I don't know, mid-40s, early 50s, you know, new age-ish white lady. We got a lot of those in my city. Sorry. Yes. The Laws of Messiah. And if you think that grammar's bad, you have no idea. By Ryu Okawa. I probably just butchered that name, but whatever. Now, some of this was actually very funny to read. You know, so much of it makes zero sense, and he jumps from just like one subject to another, but I think this is a cult-like trick. I mean, it is a cult-like trick, you know. I'll get into like why he is a cult leader. Not just a cult leader, but associated with what, as far as I know, is one of the most dangerous cults ever, because they actually went out of their way to attack the public and try to kill Japanese residents several times. Of course, talking about Shinrykio, which are are the people where the whole tinfoil hat concept came from, but more on that in a sec. So let me just read you the back of this. The tactics that I was referring to, this show in these passages and this quote where it just, it's him saying a lot of nothing at all, to the point where it's like making you frustrated, like fucking, what are you talking about? What are you referring to? And I think that's deliberate. It's meant to make people go, wait, I want answers. You're leaving me with all these questions, so you must have the answers. And they kind of just bait them on. I know that's what Scientology does. Give us X amount of dollars, you'll get to this level, and then they spend 6 figures or whatever so they can get to look at the fucking Xenu scribblings that L. Ron Hubbard made when he was in a barbiturate amphetamine rum-fueled blackout. Which is usually the tipping point, interestingly enough, for Scientologists, where they're like, oh shit, what have I gotten myself into? This is completely insane. But, so here, I'll read this to you. The laws of Messiah, from love to love. From love to love, by the way, this is a quote from the guy. From love to love, this is the start and end of my laws. In between, I shall teach a lot about truth and happiness. Love your Lord God, he is the being who loves you the most. You see what I mean? About hollow sentiment and shit like that. And so then it has a very short but bizarre sort of quick bio and absolute brevity about them, but the details they chose are very strange. So on March 23rd, 1981, Ryu Okawa attained great enlightenment and later became aware that he is El Cantare with a mission to bring salvation to all humankind. Well, I'm glad I know who he is now. And then, without telling you why these are numbered, I'm assuming they're his commandments or something, but it doesn't tell you, there's no heading to these just words. So the first one is, now here Elohim is thinking about God. From what I can remember, the Elohim were they were giants or angel people who bred with humans or some shit. I don't know. I've heard about it on ancient aliens and conspiracies and stuff like that, but I don't know if that's what he's referring to. Good and evil taught by the God of the earth. That's what it says underneath it. So now here Elohim is thinking about good and evil taught by the God of the earth. What that means, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. If it's better, please share it on any of these. What the Messiah should say and do now, showing the way at the turning point of human history. So wait, is he okay? One thing I that clued me into this being a cult actually is the first thing that really did. When I took the book, because I was like, usually I wouldn't stop for stuff like that, but I was just like, oh fuck it, I'm bored, and my phone's dead, so I can't listen to music. I'll take this, and if it's probably cult stuff, and I can start a collection of cult memorabilia. Maybe they'll go all on Shinrykio and be, this will be worth money in about 10 years or so. And that was my logic. but I flipped it open and I saw him quoting the Old Testament over and over and over again, and I was like, yep, this is a cult. It's definitely a cult. That was all the fucking proof I needed. Yeah, so he's got 3 more inexplicably numbered words. Again, I'm guessing they're commandments. So, oh wait, yeah. So the teachings of Messiah to battle the change with values, with words of God. I mean, like I've read a lot of the contents of the book just because I was like stoned at a friend's house, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because he talks about UFOs and like he's obviously very Christian and stuff like that. But like, isn't it like the biggest blasphemy for Christians to like worship false idols or whatever instead of Jesus? I mean, isn't that the case? Like, but he's referring to himself as the Messiah, like, I think? I mean, he's not super specific, so, I mean, I can only infer, you know? But, and this is weird here. So, yeah, number 4, the heart of the earth. Shambhala. I've never heard Shambhala spelled that way. I don't know who just made that up, or if that's actually a thing, but Shambhala, that promotes spiritual awakening of humanity. Okay. And last but not least, number 5, the love of Messiah. Love on earth, the training ground for souls. Okay, well, you know, I'll read some more of this wackiness in a second. I won't torture you too much, but yeah, I know he's got this like program called Happy Science, which sounds like essentially it's like a way of getting people to attend these like sessions where he brainwashes them. But how I found out he was associated with Shinrykio is I was reading this when I was on transit. Again, couldn't listen to music, bored, and I was like, you know, I was actually like fucking having a good laugh at some of this stuff. Because a lot of it's boring, but there was some like really kooky stuff in it. And I just couldn't help, even though I just put myself on transit. But then he started mentioning Shinrykio and some of it, and oh, by the way, it's all written with like terrible grammar. Just like what I've read so far is nothing compared to how like incomprehensible so much of this is. But he mentions Shinrykio again, very abstrusely, so I have no idea what he's talking about, but so I was like, oh shit. And for those of you who don't know, Shinrykio was a very dangerous cult in Japan. Apparently they're still around, which is a surprise to me. They should be a terrorist organization at this point, because they were the ones who released sarin gas into the Tokyo subways, and like it was a very premeditated attack. They had already tried to release cyanide into the subway. They had a package of it, and they, you know, they set it on fire in one of the washrooms that had a vent that would lead into the tunnels of the subway. But like an immigrant janitorial lady, whatever you want to call her, she saw the thing on fire and she moved it like into a trash can over in the corner or something like that. So inadvertently saved a lot of lives in the process. And then, yeah, they gassed this judge's family's house, and the thing is, this cult was started by this guy, Shoko Asahara, and he was like a hybrid between New Age Christian yoga teacher, and he taught yoga out of his apartment, and people who were like very high-standing members of society, like doctors and lawyers and judges, and like he deliberately targeted rich people. And then of course, like most cults, started to compound, and he had a whole means of programming people into being shells of their former selves. Like he would just fucking put them in solitary confinement and feed them LSD for like a week, until they were completely like fucking under his just like in the palm of his hand, basically. Like he convinced people he could levitate, and I've seen videos of him trying to do this, and it's just him in a crouching position, bouncing up and down, like jumping up and down. It's like, okay, well, I guess I can levitate too. But oddly enough, you know, how he got all the sarin and stuff was, for one, he had some of the top tier chemists, but he also had an alliance with the Soviet Union. He actually bought military helicopters off of them, and like tens of thousands of AK-47s, and all these biological agents like anthrax, and then nerve gas like sarin. And by the way, sarin is one of the worst things one can be exposed to. I think it's like the second worst of the nerve agents. Like I believe, and I could be wrong about this, but what it does is it causes your immune system to attack your body, and you know, you'll or no, what it does is it shuts down your respiratory system and your muscles, I'm pretty sure, so you like become paralyzed and stop breathing. That's pretty fucking brutal. Like, luckily the sarin attack only killed 11 people. I mean, that's still a lot of people, but it injured like 79. And sarin is something that like if you're exposed to it, you're going to be impacted indefinitely. So a lot of people were left with chronic issues as a result. I believe the great leader Shoko Asahara, who like he also had like anime propaganda for children. I've seen it. It's creepy as fuck. You can look it up on YouTube. But I believe he was jailed, but yeah, evidently it's still a thing, this cult. And oh yeah, just fun fact, where the whole tinfoil hat thing originates from was his members would dress in white. I imagine they were under the influence of like a bunch of drugs, because I don't know how else to explain this behavior. I mean, they're also under his influence, which, you know, when you're under the influence of a crazy cult leader, you know, you do crazy shit. Like, you know, sterilize yourself like the Heaven's Gate people did. But they were dancing through moving traffic in white robes with tinfoil hats on, because evidently the tinfoil hats stopped radio frequencies from scrambling their brains, which is hilarious because tinfoil hats actually increase radio frequencies, believe it or not. But yeah, anyways, how I found out this guy was Shinrykio is I saw him mentioning it a bunch, so I was like, oh fuck, I gotta make sure that I just didn't, you know, like, you know, have an attempt to be recruited into this extremely dangerous, like, what I consider not just a cult anyways, but a terrorist organization. And sure enough, I found an article. I'll see if I can find it again and link it in the description. But it talks about how he is affiliated with them in many ways, and various branches and whatnot. So yeah, there you have it. I just think that's pretty crazy. But let me find something just silly, this is chapter 3, the name. Chapter 3 is the battle between common sense and faith. And I've read this, and he talks about how, Jesus demanded that people choose faith over common sense. If that is not a cult leader statement, then I don't know what is. It's just like, abandon your reasoning and just have faith in what I say and what I tell you to do. Like, oh my god, but I should have bookmarked some of this stuff, because a lot of it is just him rambling on about, God's teaching will spread when you fully commit yourself to giving love. Another very, very telling statement. There's so much meaning to it. The love of the Lord God that protects Earth and governs even the universe. Technologies and the sciences will probably continue to advance and make society more convenient. I don't intend to deny them, and it's fine to use them effectively. Thanks to technology, my lectures now reach people in various ways through different media. Great. You can get a broader audience from it. That's why it's good. They can be recorded and shown at different opportunities to more people. So he's basically just saying, pay for my online seminars. He's got a weird poem here. Even referring to people as children of God, which is, this is the antisocial religion took advantage of the early case of the Buddhist order. Now, that may sound like he's deploring them, but I read that, and he in a roundabout way starts defending them. There's the best part I read of this, in terms of just craziness, is hilarious craziness, is about how he has some sort of method that he doesn't describe very well, about how you can he has a bit about beggars and barefoot children in India. I'm not even gonna get into that, because it's very racist. He talks about how he's got this through hypnosis or some shit way of just transporting your spirit body or whatever to wherever you want to go. And he talks about the Shambhala. Again, undermining materialistic tendency in modern society, and blah blah blah. Here we go. He talks about how Hermes and Orpheus, and also, Plato, stuff like that, early philosophers, people considered at least kind of the grandfathers of philosophy, are among the siblings of Alcantara. Hermes was active in the field of politics, economics, and the military, and he worked to promote trade and economy in this world. But he is also said to be playing the role of guidance and communication to bridge the world and the other world. Whatever that other world is, I have no idea. A little earlier than this current age, during the age of the 12 Olympian gods, see what I mean about the syntax in this? There used to be a large spiritual field centering around Olympus, and Hermes was active there around that time, but after Shakyamuni Buddha was born on Earth, Hermes had been visiting Shambhala more often. But before Hermes, another sole sibling of Alcantara was born under the name of Opheus, otherwise known as Osiris. So he's like conflating Egyptian gods with Greek philosophers and Buddha. That's a hell of a metaphysical sandwich you got going there, buddy. It is said that Ophelus became the king of the underworld after death. For a long time, he had worked to grant spiritual secrets in Egypt, but it has now moved to Shambhala after the fall of Egypt. And then he goes on to talk about how Jesus is, also in this Shambhala fucking world, and would like I'm assuming and John Lennon is too. Fancy that. And he's going on about Atlantis and El Cantare, who I try as I might can't find a very good description of. So he's talking about how you can become more spiritual by not eating and doing things that a physical body requires to survive, to, quote, polish your soul. People pray for many things, including abundant harvest, successful marriage, or being blessed with children. In Japan, Inari fox spirit shrines are famous for such worship. If people have lust-related wishes, lust, can't have that. No sexy time. No sexy time for you. If they have lust-related wishes, they may sometimes receive power from snake spirits in addition to fox spirits, because snake spirits have a strong sense of attachment. When they fail to realize people's wishes, spirits' powers can turn into a spell that curses the target person to death. In this way, some spirits try to unite men and women using people's fear. Animal spirits like these sometimes transform themselves and appear as beings of evil nature. Yeah, I mean, it's just a word salad. And trust me, it's like reading on does not provide any more context. Reincarnation between the realms of desire. Among those who repeat such reincarnations, strong beings have appeared and become the kings and devils of hell. There are also others who reside in the rear part of heaven and have acquired special abilities. They claim themselves to be gods and use their power to, as they say, make people worship them, or from other people's perspectives, delude people. Oh shit. Does that include you? Does that include you? Huh? Anyways, I just thought that was, simultaneously fucked up and then funny. And by the way, most of what I just read was those were continuous paragraphs. They are so disconnected. And I think that is something he's acutely aware of. I watched a quick video of him speaking, and he is capable of making sense more than that. Anyways, so I think it's a way of getting people hooked into his views by leaving them with more questions than answers, but making what he says seem like there's something very deep and of substance behind it. Anyways, I just had to share that because it was just so fucking crazy. So nutty, and I feel kind of dirty almost for taking this book and like not realizing or like asking, you know, what organizations is this guy affiliated with? Because when I Googled it, the link I found, which was actually like I think it was an academic link, it was cited. It showed, it had that thing on it that academic papers have on the internet where it shows how many people cited it. It was like the 4th or 5th link down from like the the first searches. Yeah, I personally think this is a dangerous group, and the government should take action to do something about it before they potentially hurt more people. Anyways, it's fucking smoky as hell out here, and there must be forest fires. We had a lot of forest fires here. Fuck. Like the air quality last summer was worse than anywhere else in the world. That means worse than Dubai and Hong Kong, and like, Jesus. It's just burning my eyes. So I've gone on for long enough. But anyways, I hope you found that entertaining, if not at least entertaining, like intriguing. I personally did. Do I regret taking it? No, but again, there's like a slight guilt in me for just like falling for the fact that I did try to get recruited. Luckily, I have the critical thinking skills. I'm not saying that I'm a master of critical thinking or cognition, but it doesn't take much more than, well, common sense. I try to have more common sense than I do faith. Just take more than common sense, I think, and a lack of desperation to see this and go, wow, this is like just fodder for people who are potentially in a vulnerable place. But yeah, so that's that. Enjoy.